Oh, hey guys. Let me see if you can hear me. Let's see if we're back on. We're back on. Hopefully it's the same video. Can you hear me? Testing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was annoying. Hopefully it's not chopped up into different videos, because like I hate when they do that. Yep, exactly, Nathan. I always start out by saying I fucking hate tech. Alright, now we've got 28 people in here. You can't see me? I don't understand. I could see myself. We hear you. I would play the intro song again because I hate separating my videos. It sucks. You can see in here. Okay. Alright. Alright, yeah. Refreshing pages and shit. Alright. Yeah. Annoying technology. Hate technology. Hopefully. How many people did I have in here? It's 29 right now, so I want to get back to where we were before a little bit. We're going to talk about Dada and Evola and shit. So we'll get right into that. Let me make sure my video screens look good because I don't like the way this looks. Hold on. Why does everything get changed in OBS? OBS is pissing me off. Alright. OBS like constantly changes sizes of things, messes with things. Alright, there we go. That looks better. Oh, I just got back from the gym. Okay, 33. Cool, cool. Yeah, so let me see what I have in my notes. I am out of touch, and I'm out of time. You're out of touch, I'm out of time. Okay? So, I have some sources in the description of this video, by the way. As we go along, I'll let you know. I'll put it up on the screen. A lot of times people ask me what the sources are, so I put in some of my source notes in there, and when I put it up on the screen, you guys can follow along. Yes, hey Sandra, thanks for the 5, I don't know what you call those dollars, but thank you for that. Swiss bucks or something. Yeah, that's right. Thanks for starting it off, Sandra. That is absolutely correct. I'm about to get to that. But she says that the Swiss francs. Okay, there. Thank you. She said that the Dada movement started in a bar in Zurich, and that is true. Believe it or not, this very, very wild and crazy, strange movement, art movement, started in Switzerland, which is crazy, because you wouldn't think the Swiss were into making such provocation. Is that the right word, shall I say? But many of you guys might be familiar. Yeah, the bar is actually called Cabaret Voltaire. That's right. Cabaret Voltaire in Zurich is where it started, and I forget the names. We'll pull it up. I'm sure Wikipedia has it. So as I read along to some things, we'll get into more fine detail. But yeah, this Cabaret Voltaire had some guy, and they were doing these really weird performance art. Yes, there is a band Cabaret Voltaire as well, but that was inspired by the bar in Zurich that started the Dada movement. And they were doing performance art pieces that, you know what, I've got to say, a lot of people in our right-wing scene or whatever, what have you say, oh shit, I always forget about D-Live, let me get into that. A lot of the people would frown upon the Dada movement, and it is like kind of, I mean, Impressionism. Kitty! Oh, she's all about finding some fly or bug. It's not a fly, but like some sort of moth or something. Yeah, exactly. So, Eduardo, I agree. Right-wingers don't usually know much about modern art, or contemporary art for that matter, but yeah, modern art. So, shit, the cat distracted me. What I was going to say. Yeah, the right would like frown upon this, and we'll go through it, and I think there's some nuance to it and some really, really interesting things and perspectives that we can look at the Dada movement, because it's not all bad. The concept of it is really interesting, and I think that we do a lot of it today, actually, through the meme artwork that we make and chopping, editing videos up, and all sorts of... There's a lot of concepts where I think it actually parallels what we are doing in art today on our side, but it would be really great to kind of dissect it a little bit and see what it's about. So this Cabaret Voltaire, they started out with this performance art piece, and this guy just made this absolutely ridiculous outfit. And let me bring it up actually. Yeah, meme making is the much derided postmodernism. Yeah, so there's a lot of really interesting stuff actually about this Dada, where yeah, there's things that will obviously be like, oh, screw that. They're a way of rejecting classicism. And oh yeah, I was gonna say the precursor to all this like modern contemporary art trash like is the Dada movement, but it's also I think before that maybe even it's the impressionist. Impressionism kind of started breaking away from the traditions of traditional art and painting that way, and they started kind of being a little bit cartoony and haphazard about it, and kind of really throwing a lot of paint on there and making it look a little stranger instead of realism, instead of like the Renaissance period and trying to make everything really, really grand. Impressionism is actually the grandfather of modern art, and then you'll see how the Dada influenced all the strangeness that we have going on. And yeah, let's get into this. Yeah, no, I agree, Sam Jarvis. Let me get into this picture of this performance art piece. Let me see if I can find it. I'm on the Wikipedia. They're going through all sorts of stuff. Dada. Let's do Zurich. How do you spell Zurich? Zurich. Yeah, there we go. Cabaret Voltaire. Let's get into that. Share my screen. Which one is screen share? Hold on, sorry. Not very well prepared. I tried. I think this one. Window capture. There we go. Alright. So let's see, Cabaret Voltaire. This is the guy, so he dressed up. Oh god, I have to go into Bing. I hate the way that Google does this shit. Dada. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, so this is just like some absolutely ridiculous, I don't know, like paper costume or something that he made, trying to look like so much like some Pope-looking outfit. He purposefully did this absolutely ridiculous, and then this sheet of music that he has on these lyres is a bunch of gobbledygook nonsense. Ooh, thank you. Oh, fuck. I'm always streaming and trying to eat at the same time.
Are you going to do John Cage?
The music stuff?
Yeah, he was in the Dada World in Flux.
Really? I didn't really get into the music stuff when researching, but yeah, I could, yeah. I mean, I was going to do another section of today's stream, but I was like, oh my god, there's just so much we can go over with the Dada
stuff. Which one's the guy that did the mustache on the Mona Lisa?
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know. We'll go through everyone's names, but yeah, that is definitely a part of it. I'm not saying I'm an expert on this shit, but we'll go through all of that. Just munching. Damn it. Alright. Yeah, so this piece of the sheet music that he has is actually a bunch of gobbledygook. It's like a bunch of nonsense. He's just saying like, gaga blah blah sha pom pom, like making shit up, just making sounds, and doing this performance art piece. So it was definitely started out just like doing some like absurd shit, and I could see how, you know, people are like, oh, that's crap, blah blah blah, but that was kind of the point. That was kind of the point of Dadaism, was like just in particular in New York. So it went to from Zurich to Berlin to New York, and Zurich was just like this absurd performance art stuff. You know, the Cabaret Voltaire, all that, and then Berlin, they took it to a political level because it was around World War One or after. Yeah, I think it was around World War One, and they were doing again just like absurd, crazy shit, but like it was political. So here you can see in Berlin, there was like I think this one's in Berlin. I think this was supposed to be in Berlin. Maybe they named it Cabaret Voltaire again. Oh no, it says Zurich. Maybe. You know how sometimes they have like the articles that say different shit than what the picture is supposed to be? That's supposed to be Berlin as far as I'm concerned. So they have like a German uniform soldier, and it's like a pig, the face of a pig, and it's on the ceiling. And it really like upset, you know, it was really disturbing, and it got shut down, and you weren't supposed to say these like political anti-war stuff. It was definitely very anti-war, or it was very political. And then in New York, and we'll get to it with Duchamp and all that, with the urinal.
Duchamp, that was it.
He did the Mona Lisa thing?
Yeah, Marcel Duchamp.
Oh, yeah. I just like, he's really famous for the urinal one. The thing that people don't understand about Duchamp and the urinal and the Mona Lisa thing or whatever is that he was doing it to give like a big FU to the like art world, and wanted to see if he could just put up literally a piece of like a urinal, and see if people would consider it art. And just the snobbish art world took him seriously, and so that's kind of like it's interesting, and that's kind of how we have to look at all of this, is that like I can understand where they were coming from, because if they wanted to take the status quo and make fun of it, or you know, poke at the bear a little bit, I get that and I respect that, and that's what I think we kind of tend to do with memes or whatever. Or let's say if this is today, you know, how would we represent this Dada period of absurdity, and throwing the absurdity back into the people or at the establishment or whatever, you know? And burlesque is similar, and with these like burlesque cabarets, that maybe I'll do a whole stream on that sometime, but it was meant to be like taking jabs at the establishment, the status quo, and all that stuff. So I find it completely crazy that these burlesque people were attack me because I am not status quo. I'm not what is acceptable in their eyes, because that's not what it was. So if, you know, it were today, like we could do this type of, you know, artwork that makes a statement about, you know, whatever it is, like anti-war. It could still be anti-war, you know. We could poke fun at progressivism or whatever, and just show the absurdity of it, not just like make fun of it, but like don't be cringe, but just like provocative pieces that can show the absurdity of what we're dealing with. And that's what they were trying to do with the Dada stuff. So hold on, let me just get back to you and see what you guys are chatting about real quick. Thanks, Kibben. Yeah, exactly, Nathan. So sometimes, like, I know it is annoying, and I know I complain about it myself, about things being political, But I mean, it doesn't matter what point in history, you really can't separate art from society and politics and all that stuff. So it's always there. It's always, I mean, art is meant to be moving and represent either something social or political. And that's it, like, it is what it is. Like, that's, and you know, I always thought that my artwork wasn't political, but in a sense it did represent something when I do like classical poses from a museum, or you know, represent the Nephilim, you know, which is biblical, and try to use these imageries, biblical imageries or whatever. Like, in a sense it was making a statement, whether it's social, political, or religious. It always does that. Otherwise it's really just but the thing that you'll notice is that it's not overtly like necessarily political. Yeah, politics always weaves its way into art. Yeah, and I think it's always best when it's subliminal. I don't like it being so like MAGA in your face, MAGA, or something, or oh, here's Trump, and you know, it's just like, okay, I get it, but something to make you think. Now, back in the day with this going on, it was controversial. You know, it was controversial to have. I mean, first of all, it's still strange, bizarre today to have something up on the ceiling like that, and you know, just to walk into a room and see that. But you know, we've had so much of Trump being depicted in all these like strange and bizarre ways. It's just like, okay, yeah. I mean, these people did this way back in the day. Like, calm down. Like during World War I. So like, you're not original. This, compared to the normal artwork that people were used to seeing, is was like, whoa, this is strange. You know, this was the cusp of going to a normal art museum and seeing paintings on a wall, to walking into this place and being like, what the like, these people did not know what they were thinking. But now we would not be that surprised if we walked in to see some piece of artwork like that. But also the performance art thing, going back to Zurich, is I mean, it just, I kind of get it. Like, I get it because it's in a way just like making fun of performance art, and everyone taking it seriously is like, the joke's on them. It's great. Yeah, 1916. Cabaret Voltaire. Yeah, that's when it was around. Yeah, 1916. Ooh, this is so cool. I love this image. This is actually stunningly beautiful. I think it's actually gorgeous. I take that seriously. That's cool. All right, I'll get into my notes. I really want to munch. I really want to eat my dinner. I should have started a little later. You can say, Mr. Schnickers, you can say that piece was to show of war pigs over everyone's head, but not spoken of. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for that. Yeah, I mean, I'm no expert, but I just do a little research to catch up on my before I stream. So thank you for that. Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's actually really interesting. It's not just like, oh, here's like Trump and he's naked, or like, look at his small penis. It's like having, you know, the war pigs over your head but not spoken of is like, that's actually really profound. That's really cool. I get it. Yeah, artists are society's trolls, pretty much, and Dadaism kind of explains that. Yeah, that last pick was awesome. You said that was Bauhaus, Oscar Schlemmer. Yeah, it was really cool. I love that. Um, yeah, and as I was researching this a little bit, I definitely thought about Sabo and the faction, because they started, what they're doing definitely seems to be a bit of that like Dadaist inspiration of messing with things and making people think about stuff. So it's actually really cool. So let's get into some notes actually. Oh, we got a $2 from Larry Gyorky. The original Too Much Fun Club. Oh, okay. Cool. Let me just get into my notes. Okay. Yeah, Dada or Dadaism was an art movement of the European avant-garde, and let's get into the definition of avant-garde as well. In the early 20th century, with early centers in Zurich, Switzerland, at the Cabaret Voltaire, circa 1916. New York Dada began circa 1915, and after 1920, Dada flourished in Paris. Developed in reaction to World War I, the Dada movement consisted of artists who rejected the logic, reason, and aestheticism of modern capitalist society, instead expressing nonsense, irrationality, and anti-bourgeois protest in their works. The art of the movement spanned visual, literary, and sound media, including collage, sound poetry, cut-up writing, and sculpture. Dadaist artists expressed their discontent with violence, war, and nationalism, and maintained political affinities with the radical far left. So, yes, I can understand a little bit of hate about that. They were anti-aesthetics. They were radical far left. This isn't even like, oh, they were leftists. Like, these were like the most radical far leftists, which you never really see anyone say those words. And again, sorry, sometimes, a lot of times, art and politics collide. So certainly with the Dada movement, it does, and we'll get into that. And then also connecting that with Evola will bring the politics into it again. But there's really no way about it. You have to bring it up with this topic, and it is what a definition of it, you know. And yeah, so they were anti-capitalist, anti-aesthetics, expressing nonsense, irrationality, and anti-bourgeois. Like, this is definitely like the opposite of what you know, we would be about. But they were anti-war, so that's cool. And just basically, we have to understand that in that time, being this radical far left was the minority. So they were pushing against what was going on at the time that was mainstream. So right now, things have flipped. You know, 100 years later, it's flipped. And they got what they wanted. Essentially, the early Dadaists got what they wanted. The world is now radical far left, and we are in a sense pushing back against that, and getting shut down and being shocking with our memes, with our cut up sound bites, which is what we do in with the YouTube and all that stuff. Oh my god, I sound like an old person with the YouTube on YouTube and stuff. And using like visual effects of something and taking it out of context, adding text to it. Like, that is what the Dadaist movement was about. And I think it's really cool to actually flip it around, and we're doing it back on them. So can't hate all of it, actually. And a lot of the early stuff definitely has some really cool typography and aesthetics. For being anti-aesthetics, like, sometimes I did some really cool stuff, and I really do appreciate it. Let me just check in on you guys real quick. Yeah, that's right, Grey Wolf. Politics is intrinsically part of society, therefore intrinsically part of art. Yeah, nowadays, Eduardo, the left is associated with art, and they push an ideology too far and end up doing shit. Yeah, Jay says that the left created a culture to replace the establishment one, not adopt aspects from the establishment culture. Yeah, I agree. Strong divine king, left and right, especially the extremes, do have a lot of similarities, but no matter what, I can't really subscribe to the left polarity. I'll stick to my side. Yeah, and behind the scenes, definitely things are going on, but intrinsically, I just can't. I can't deal with leftist ideology. So, Larry Gorky said, "Oh, please don't forget, Bad Red Chinese Ballet, featured by Leonardo." Oh yeah, the Monty Python guy. Yeah, he was definitely influenced by the Dadaist period too, because you can see a lot of like cutouts and clips and absurdity in a lot of his stuff. And I watched a video that had him in it, one of the American ones that was involved in it, and he was definitely inspired by it. Yeah, Philip Daniel, that would be cool if you did a video on this about being avant-garde in the arts did not necessarily correspond with left-wing politics. In any case, I should do a video on this. No, I'm not sure if it was Terry Gilliam. I don't think so. When I was watching the video, I would have noticed if it said Terry Gilliam. Okay, let me get back to the notes. There's no consensus on the origin of the movement's name. A common story is that the German artist Richard Holzenbeck slid a paper knife letter opener at random into a dictionary, and it landed on Dada, a colloquial French term for hobby horse. Other notes that it suggests the first words of a child evoking childlessness, absurdity, basically nothing, just Dada, like just bullshit. And it appealed to the group. Still, others speculate the word might have been chosen to evoke a similar meaning or no meaning at all in any language, reflecting the movement's internationalism. It was just meant to be a bunch of nothingness. Oh yeah, this was actually with the pig, war pig on the ceiling. Yeah, it does say it was in Germany, in Berlin. So, okay, yeah, the grand opening of the first Dada exhibition, International Dada Fair Berlin, June 5th, 1920. The central figure hanging from the ceiling was an effigy of a German officer with a pig's head. So, yeah. The roots of Dada lie in pre-war avant-garde. The term anti-art, a precursor to Dada, was coined by Marcel Duchamp around 1913 to characterize works which challenge accepted definitions of art. Cubism and the development of collage and abstract art would inform the movement's detachment from the constraints of reality and convention. The work of French poets, Italian futurists, and German expressionists would influence Dada's rejection of the tight correlation between words and meaning. Words such as Ubu-Roi, 1896, by Alfred Jarry, and the ballet Parade, 1916 to 1917, by Eric Satie, would also be characterized as proto-Dadaist work. The Dada movement's principles were first collected in Hugo Ball's Dada Manifesto in 1916. I have a feeling this thing is probably that really cool picture that I absolutely loved. I'm going to look this up. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I love this thing. I've seen this before. Cool. Ooh, my. Wait, what is this? Is someone like recreating it or some shit? I think I've seen like a black and white of stuff of this, and it was really cool. Oh god, this stupid. I mean, I know it's strange and not very classical or trad, but that's cool. I kind of like that. Yeah, I think I've seen black and white pictures like this of it, and it was actually really cool. No, not that parade, people. Not that parade. I'm talking about this kind of parade. Oh, I love the set design too, how strange and bizarre it was and created these weird optical illusions. Let me see what this is. Oh yeah, Tristan Tzara is like a really big influence in this Dada movement too. Maybe we'll get to him. So yeah, that's cool. The Dadaist movement included public gatherings, demonstrations, and publication of art / literary journals, passionate coverage of art, politics, and culture. Art, politics, and culture. This is what we need to harness. Were topics often discussed in a variety of media. Key figures in the movement included Duchamp, yeah, a bunch of other people. Yeah, the Tristan Tzara person. Holzenbeck, Beatrice Wood, Kurt Schwitters, Max Ernst. The movement influenced later styles like the avant-garde and downtown music movement and groups including surrealism, nouveau realism, pop art, and fluxus. So yeah, actually, fuck, I'm so hungry, guys. I might want to have a little break and munch. Let me check in on you though. Yeah, Dadaism, surrealism. Oop. Thanks, Never Cold. 333. 333. It's my favorite numbers. 33. Yeah. Oh yeah, Holy Mountain. I tried playing Holy Mountain on my stream before, and my stream got shut down for copyright. But that is really cool too. It also has alchemy and the absurdity and the Dadaism and that. And yeah, surrealism came after Dada, but it was like slid right in there. You know what I mean? It's definitely part of it. Okay, so I like really can't even think and continue and speak straight because I'm so hungry and I went to the gym and I burned like 1,000,000 calories. So just give me 2 seconds, talk amongst yourselves, get into this whole Dada thing. It's very exciting. We'll go through a lot more in a more concise way after I eat a little bit because like I can't deal. Hold on. So I guess I should play my intro again, maybe? I don't know. Do you guys want the intro or do you want like my commercials? I'll give you my commercials. let's see, full commercials. I'll give you some Metacog and Lady Alchemy commercials, okay?
This is Papa Bear to Silver Fox. I'm about to initiate phase 1. Are you with me?
Come on, baby, I want to party. Come on, right to the dance floor. I wanna swing the day on, and everybody's moving. So come on, keep on grooving. So if you want to party, come on and move your body.
Your body. Your soul.
WTF. Go back to Canada.
I guess you could say we all learned an important lesson here today. If you wear Nike, you're probably a little bitch.
We live in an era when our cities are armed with steel and concrete. Computers and electronics barricade our minds. It doesn't change the fact that there exist a lot of strange phenomena, bizarre beyond reason or logic. Most folks just don't see them. That's because we cling to order, to any tiny happiness that comes our way, and we bust our humps to blind ourselves with our desires and our pleasures. There's a world of darkness out there, beyond time or space. A world filled with evil that's undeniably real. And in that world, there are things that run wild.
Apartment's less lonely thing in all.
Oh, all right. Oh shit, I'm still playing audio. So I'll put my lipstick back on. Thanks for waiting, guys, and appreciating the music. There should be a link in the description for my buddies. What the shit is it that they have nowadays? Bandcamp or something? I don't know. So you see what I'm talking about with OBS? Now it made my like donation goal and the subscriber goal like giant. It makes it tiny and then it makes it giant. Can it like make up its mind what size it wants to be? And the jar is giant now. What the fuck? There we go. Normal size. Like, why can't it just stay that way? Ugh. Okay. Yeah. So let's get back into it. Where are we? So Dadaism. They mention the avant-garde. So it says that it was an art movement of the European avant-garde in the 20th century, starting in Zurich. And so, just in case you don't know what avant-garde is, because I absolutely love avant-garde fashion. And so you'll see a lot of the similarities with the fashion, and I'll bring up some images in a moment. But avant-garde means like a push forward, like vanguard. I think it literally means foreguard. So it's a very like experimental, unorthodox, and it's French for advance guard. So vanguard, like push forward, like it's on the forefront. And it pushes the status quo or normal and stuff like that. And it has it says that the avant-garde is considered by some to be the hallmark of modernism as distinct from postmodernism. Many artists have aligned themselves with the avant-garde movement and still continue to do so, tracing its history from Dada through situationists to postmodern artists such as language poets around 1981. It says the avant-garde also promotes radical social reforms. It was this meaning that was evoked by the Saint Simonian Oland Rodriguez in his essay, The Artist, the Scientist, and the Industrialist in 1825, which contains the first recorded use of avant-garde in its now customary sense. There, Rodriguez calls on artists to serve as the people's avant-garde, to serve as the people's avant-garde, insisting that the power of the arts, the power of the arts is indeed the most immediate and fastest way to social, political, and economic reform. So we can see in a lot of these movements, like last time when we talked about what was it? The Renaissance? Baroque. The Baroque and Renaissance art. The Baroque art came from the Reformation and the Counter-Reformation by the Catholic Church trying to show its grandeur and power, and they thought that the arts was a way to really influence people through emotion. So it's really interesting that the avant-garde and Dada and all that stuff, this guy who coined the term avant-garde, which is associated to Dadaism, insists that the power of the arts is indeed the most immediate and fastest way to social, political, and economic reform. So this is something that people, like, we really need to understand, like, how important the arts are, because a lot of people just kind of brush it off and don't take it seriously, and they act like it's, what are you doing? yeah, so oh god, there's so much to talk about. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you avant-garde fashion. Yeah, so I mean, you can see the resemblance when we look up a lot of the Dada stuff. I mean, it's just bizarre and weird, which I think is cool. I like it, and it's like this push forward, and this is oh god, I hate this stupid Google. That was what's his name? Salvador Dali. I love Dali's ballet backgrounds that he did, set design. What am I doing? Avant-garde. I just love avant-garde fashion. Sorry. Like, how cool is that? Oh my god, I love it. Forks. We got forks and bugs. Oh, this is Gareth Pugh, who's one of my favorites. He is amazing. I don't know. What was I going to show you all? Oh yeah, Salvador Dali. Why is he not showing me the ballet set designs? Here's one. But he had this like swan that they came out of too. It was like wild. Oh yeah, there's the swan. I think this is a drawing for the set design. Oh, how cool is that? This is some Salvador Dali ballet. Like, you see with the weird stool things. Not stools, what is it? I don't know what to call them. This is some Dali set design as well. So yeah, surrealism came too, but it was a little bit after. But still, I just had to show you because I saw this picture. And it's a classic. I just love it. It looks great. Alright. Where are we at? Yeah, see, there's like moments of this where I actually find it's really aesthetic. But it was different. It was different than what they were used to. Sorry. Okay, so here is a source that should be in the description. If you see wide walls in there somewhere. Understanding the significance of avant-garde. On May 17th, 1863, so this is before this whole Cabaret Voltaire, Paris saw the opening of the Salon des Refus, an exhibition of artworks that were rejected by the jury of the prestigious Paris Salon, held annually by the academic of fine arts. So the Beaux, I don't know how to say that. The Beaux Arts is means fine arts, and there's an Academy of Fine Arts, which actually is the architecture that we so love. Comes from this French Academy of the Beaux Arts called Beaux Arts Architecture. I just get so sidetracked on stuff. Like, I'm gonna have to do a few streams on Dadaism. But it's all related and interesting. So this is the type of architecture. It's like the Grand Central Station. It's like Old Penn Station. This is the Academy of Fine Arts, what it produced. And the architecture, I mean, just look at that. It's insane. Insane. So it was very prestigious, and they were, there's Grand Central. It's the same style. And so it was really prestigious and just like very ornate and decorative and aesthetic. And the Salon de Refuse was like all the rejects that this Fine Arts Academy rejected. And so they set up their own art gallery, and it kind of just became a phenomenon of just like these weird, funky pieces of artwork that the Academy of Fine Arts rejected. So it was the very first time the term avant-garde was used in relation to the arts, and it marked the beginning of a cultural revolution. Renowned painters like Gustave Courbet, Edouard Manet, and Camille Pissarro cast aside by the critics and the public for not being conservative to their taste, organized their own shows throughout the French capital featuring the now legendary paintings such as Symphony in White No. 1. So yes, it was the time where they were rejected by the conservative, like, fine arts world, and they went and created their own rejects salon and titled things like Symphony in White No. 1, like things like that. It's like totally what we make fun of. But again, if we can take a lesson from this, it's like, you know what they say, history repeats itself. So we can go to the next level of like, okay, now this is what's mainstream. And I mean, I remember when there was like some, I don't know, MAGA art thing in New York City before the election. It was like shut down. It was like getting hard to find a venue. A lot of times it happens to us and like me with performing or whatever. So we need to create our own Salon de Refuse or Cabaret Voltaires and stuff where we can do our thing and create our own movement. And we certainly are with like, in our own way, like I said, with technologies and memeing and doing stuff. So it's, we just all have to figure out how to make this thing like work, and not just like individual trolls like making a meme, but like create a movement. Not just like cringy MAGA stuff, but like take the actual concepts of what we're doing and make it into like a cohesive movement that can be showcased. Like, make it mean something. No, I haven't, Grey Wolf. What is that? Interior semiotics? Okay. So, yeah, I have in my notes. Art is and always has been political. It's just not necessarily overtly so. So there's another link in there. It says dadaart.com. Ooh, Christian.
I can understand avant-garde in architecture, fine arts, etc. But I've never understood it when applied to fashion. Am I missing something or just being a Philistine towards fashion?
Oh, that was awesome. Thanks for that. Yeah, the avant-garde in architecture, fine arts, etc., but never understood it when applied to fashion. I'm missing something or being a Philistine towards fashion. I don't know, maybe. I think the same kind of feeling that you get, appreciation that you get for the architecture or art, just the oddness of it a little bit, just the difference of it is kind of what I like in the fashion. I always try to mold a little bit of avant-garde and weirdness, but like at the same time something familiar and refined and classical. So that's what I like. I just don't want absurdity for plain absurdity and just craziness, but I want absurdity in a beautiful way sometimes. So okay, so I also have, if you guys want to go to the source, it's dadaart.com. It looks like dadart.com, but I think they meant it to be like Dada art, but like keep the A at the end of it for the art. But there's a bunch of cool stuff in here, and unpopular culture. Dada was designed to be ghost-like and short-lived, and intransient and inconsequential mockery of the vain conceit that cultural monuments stood for something immortal, something everlasting. So that's interesting. It's kind of like, you know, just kind of like memes. Like I said, they were just throwing shit out there, and it wasn't meant to be like a monument that's supposed to be immortal. It was meant to just kind of pass along and do some sort of mockery and the vain conceit. Self-immolation was written into Dada's very DNA. Its main aesthetic tenet is its brevity and self-destructiveness. Again, similar to memes. There are no world-renowned Dadaists on the scale of Hemingway or Shatsaval. Sorry, I don't know that. Or Picasso. No Dadaist produced a particularly large body of work. Not least because so many of the good ones killed themselves as the ultimate expression of Dadaist performance art. If you've never even heard of the movement, you probably hardly to be blamed. The Dadaists were simply there one day, like a wisp of smoke, swirling briefly, illuminated by moonbeams, and then the next were gone. Rarely do artistic movements fulfill their stated intentions so completely. Dada was a fully realized soulless expression of Dionysian excess, a howl of existential despair, and a casualty of war. Dada typography is really interesting, actually. So this is something I love. You guys know how I love like type and all that stuff. Because of doing the magazine. But it's, yeah, really, really interesting and fascinating for magazine stuff. I love the typography. And so they, instead of nice, neat, clean little lines, all perfectly done, they kind of had jagged writing. It was kind of thrown in all directions, but it actually kind of comes across really cool. Like, I kind of like it. There's something aesthetic about it when they were trying to just not be aesthetic, and I find that really cool. So I might even play around with some of these concepts and ideas for the magazine. Like this, look at these bees and the way that, like, it's just so crazy. The way that they did things was not perfectly neat and beautiful, but it's still beautiful in its own weird way. Oh, also, again, the collage inspiration, you know, how collage was used. So, they definitely did that with typography as well. had this cutout kind of feel to it. Let me just check on you guys real quick. I made that video that has Donna Tremplova in it. That is for Metacog TV. You guys should go follow Metacog TV on YouTube as well, and on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. It's Metacog TV. Jay, you can throw some links in there. Meta, M-E-T-A, Cog, C-O-G, Metacog TV. So I'm working on that. If anyone has any cool things that they want to feature in it, let me know. Just send it to me. Oh no, Donna did Joker. Boys are not gonna like that on the internet. The boys are not gonna like that. Yeah, so back to this website. Dada in New York, cool. Dada in Berlin, Cologne, Hanover, Dada in Paris, collages. Yeah, they did a lot of collages. I mean, this just website has a ton of it. I mean, it's just super fascinating. I've been really looking into it a lot. So, here's a short video from the Cabaret Voltaire presenting Dada. Like we said, Zurich was the birthplace of Dada movement, and its opposition to the cultural values its artists believe had led to the First World War. It all began at the city's Cabaret Voltaire in 1916. Switzerland was a neutral country during the First World War, and many European artists sought refuge here, including the German founder of Cabaret Voltaire, Hugo Ball. Dadaist published books and created paintings and sculptures, but the real spirit of Dada was in events, cabaret performances. Yes, that's my favorite. Demonstrations, declarations, confrontations, the distributions of leaflets and of small magazines and newspapers and actions, which today we would call guerrilla theater. Cool. Love it. When Hans Arp and Richard Holzenbeck joined the group, they started making collages and wooden sculptures. The Cabaret Voltaire artists did not restrict themselves to being painters, writers, dancers, or musicians. Most of them were involved in several art forms and in breaking down the boundaries which kept the artists distinct from one another. The Cabaret Voltaire building has been lovingly restored and turned into a museum. It's a lasting memorial to the Dadaists whose activities had such a huge influence on the development of the 20th century art. This has some links of stuff that's actually pretty good. I can't remember if this is the one that was useful to me or if it was this one. I think it was this one. Yeah, look at this like cutout stuff. Cool. Yeah, the Duchamp Mona Lisa. It was like titled something too that like meant, I think in French or something, like nice ass or something. It's just ridiculous. Oh, I'm just gonna check on you while that loads. Alright, let's see. Come on, load! What's with my internet? Alright, here we go. This is just some, I don't know, slideshow. Figured I'll share it with you guys. The non-art movement. Ooh, cool. Dada had only one rule: never follow any known rules. Should I accept the cookies? I never know if I should accept cookies or not. What happened? Where did I go? Shit, I'm so bad at this. Yeah. Okay, social, political climate, and its influence on the art and design. Dada was born out of the pool of avant-garde painters, poets, and filmmakers who flocked to neutral Switzerland before and during World War I. Protesting the bourgeois nationalist denotes the wealthy, and colonialist interest, essentially, it's the policy and practice of power and extending control over weaker peoples and areas. Dadaists believed these were the root causes of the war. Dada contributors sided with the radical left. And again, there's something to appreciate here. This is when mainstream was not leftist, and so the radical left were trying to make something happen and influence people through art, and they got together and made some decent stuff. I could at least appreciate the radical left 100 years ago. It's a rejection of logic, prizing nonsense, irrationality, celebrating the avant-garde. So, I mean, in a sense, we can either do that through appreciating logic, rejecting non-logic, and prizing sense, and having it be rational. We could also be doing exactly the same thing, like I said, through memes, where it's just like kind of being ridiculous and throwing shit out there and mocking the left in a way. Kind of like those fake New York, Washington Post headlines about Dahmer dying or whatever, just mocking the media. And that's something that they also did as well, was mock the media. There were some artists that, some of the main Dada artists that made fake press releases and sent them out just to show the absurdity of how the media can take things, or people will take things in that's in the press seriously if it's written seriously. They just did all sorts of bizarre stuff like that and kind of pulled pranks. So I kind of see some similarities with some trolling. The content and concepts focused on anti-war politics with nuances and anti-bourgeois. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all really like anti-war and stuff, so that's cool. I don't know. I'm not really anti-bourgeois. Actually, the left are kind of like the bourgeois now, so that actually makes sense for us right now as well. So again, there's stuff that you can appreciate about this movement. Dada art may often reflect the nation of origin's involvement in the war. German Dada art emphasized machine and military dominance, while American Dada art was more humorous and playful. Origin of the word Dada, there are different speculations. One, a multicultural nonsense word, essentially mimicking the first sounds a baby would make. Sounds about right. The second one is that it originates from the Romanian artist Tristan Tzara and Marcel Iancos. Frequent use of the words Dada, meaning yes in Romanian. Da, da, da. 3, during a meeting when a paper knife stuck into a French-German dictionary happened on the word Dada, a French word for hobby horse. Dada self-destructed when it was in danger of becoming. I mean, once it's actually like cool, it's not cool anymore. You know what I mean? Oh, becoming acceptable. Yeah, exactly. My point still. Dada self-destructed when it was in danger of becoming acceptable. Yeah. And that's essentially what is happening, where like the radical left is acceptable. So it's not really like their point isn't really made anymore, and all this stuff. Like, what we're saying is not acceptable because I lost my career over it, and a lot of people are afraid to have their real identities out there on the internet. It's clearly not acceptable to have right-wing opinions, so this far left is completely acceptable now, and yeah, it's definitely killed the art movement. I think it's totally cliche and terrible and boring, and I mean, I think the Dadaists back in the day would be horrified to see just how terrible and cliche it is, because at least I could actually respect these guys. Key artists and designers of the movement. Created by a group of artists and poets associated with the Cabaret Voltaire in Zurich. Cool. So it started in Zurich, went to Berlin, yeah, Cologne, New York, Italy, Ireland, Tokyo, Paris, Yugoslavia, huh, Netherlands. Interesting. My older sister was born in Yugoslavia. Influence based on artistic style, abstraction, expressionism, cubism, and to a lesser extent, futurism. Oh, sorry, my neck, just after like leaning towards the computer, my neck kills me. Let me just catch up with you guys real quick and we'll get back to that slideshow. I feel, hey Kevin, what's up? He said, I feel people in general want to feel that they belong to something greater than themselves, which is where I believe the virtue signaling becomes like a call sign of sorts. True. Okay. Ooh. Oh, thanks, y'all Hubbard. Not saying anything, just chilling. Okay, Charles, I feel like you are being a troll at this point because you keep repeating yourself, and we've talked about this over and over again. I don't feel like having to talk about it again. Art is always political. It is left or right. It is political. It always is, even if it's not. It kind of somehow is. And I mean, Dada is related to politics, so that's in the definition. That's what it is. That's how it was formed. So it revolved around anti-war and politics, and it is extreme leftist. It's in the definition. So get over it. Art and politics are always kind of related at times, so most of the time. Even when we talked about the Baroque era, it was the Catholic Church that was its influence, which is cultural or political. So, you know, I'm sick of talking about it. We said it. I'm just going over the notes now. Involved media, visual arts, literature, poetry, art manifestos, art theory, theater, graphic design. Cool, cool, cool. Dada represented the opposite of the traditional conventions of art. Where art was concerned with aesthetics, Dada was not. But at the same time, its aesthetics are actually cool when it stopped trying to be super aesthetic. Art equals is art appealed to the sensibilities. Dada intended to offend. And in fact, there were some Dada exhibitions where, oh my god, so that's in Cologne where it turned into like extreme, like offensive shit. And again, there's two sides to it. This is like the leftist version 100 years ago when this was going on. And then you can kind of see that in today with maybe some of our memes or whatever. There was one art gallery in Cologne where in order to enter you had to take a piss at the urinal in some like bar, and then as you entered the art gallery, people were yelling obscenities at you and like yelling nasty swear words and stuff. And then when you went in, some people were just so outraged by it. It was meant to outrage, and some people were just so outraged or whatever that they started destroying the art, which was actually encouraged by the gallery owner. And that was just like the whole art piece was just being completely shocking and obscene and stuff like that. And I have worked at some performance venues that are like that. One of the venues that I worked at was like all about shock value. Oh God, this neck. Shock value art and just offending and doing the weirdest stuff you can think of. And again, I do kind of see that sometimes with our stuff, because sometimes we have some shock stuff that is like so sometimes Charles, you were just like, I like Dada aesthetic too. That's why I'm talking about it, and I praise it a lot of the times, but you can't take away its history and what it was about. So like, why are you making it political when and taking like being offended by it being extreme left? Like, it is what it is, and I can still appreciate it. You wanting to deny that it has I don't even own a TV. Okay, you're a troll. This is like totally a troll. Over it. This person's like trolling me at this point. I don't even own a TV. It's like making it, you're getting offended because it's like represents a political side that you don't agree with. That's retarded. That's retarded. Always Sunny oscillates from the obscene to profound and in between. Shock art has its place, but the question I think goes: are we going shock for shock's sake alone? And if and would that be too easy? Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I felt about a lot of the performance art where I worked at. Was like, it's shock value. I liked more of the talent and skill stuff, or beauty and aesthetic stuff. Wasn't really too much into the shock value art stuff. It has its place at times, but I felt like that was a shtick a lot of the times. It wanted to be a shtick, but let's see. Let's go back to this thing. Dada became the groundwork for abstract art, sound poetry, performance art. Oh shit. I consider myself a performance artist, so that's, it's, I have my roots in this Dada world. Performance art, postmodernism, pop art, Nouveau Realism, and Fluxus. Dada was the foundation for the Surrealist movement. Yeah, that's what I was mentioning about Surrealism and Salvador Dali, that it came like just snuck right in there right after Dada, and it was related to it a little bit. Key artists and designers: Hugo Ball on the top left, who made the Cabaret Voltaire. This Tristan Tzara person is a really big deal. Hannah Hotch, John Hartfeld, Kurt Schwitter, Hans Arp, Emmy Hennings, Raoul Haussmann, Marcel Duchamp, Beatrice Wood, George Grosz. So Duchamp is into Cubism, and then Dadaism and Surrealism co-founded Dada, man of great humor and wit. Love jokes, puns, and challenging others beyond conventional wisdom. Best for introducing the ready-made or found object into art. So what he did was, not only was it this urinal, but he would take like this wheel, he would take like a bunch of just random objects and display it as like art. And again, it wasn't really even meant to be taken serious. It was like he wanted to see if it would be considered art. And it made people think about that concept and made it legendary. And now people do this with all seriousness and really take themselves seriously. So that's what I see the difference between Duchamp and like the contemporary artists of today doing this kind of stuff. Greatest contribution is that he single-handedly shifted the focus of art away from the strictly visual and onto the mental. Yeah, he made people think about what is art. This is actually really cool. I like this guy's art. Look at that sculpture. Yeah, his background is Dada, and then Surrealism. Founded the movement, abstraction, creation, and invented biomorphic sculpture. I'm actually a fan of that. That's really cool. His playful, mutable-like forms had a huge impact on art. He practiced Sorry, I think they made a mistake here. Playful-like forms had a huge impact on art. He practiced automatic, free conscious writing. Yeah, I like it. I'm a fan of that. Francis Picabia. Dadaism, Surrealist, Cubism, once known as Papa Dada, known for his mechanomorph paintings, which portrayed machine parts in mock portraits. Fascinated by machines as metaphors for the modern world and human behavior. It's actually not even terrible. Technology in that era which influenced the way artists and designers produce their work. Dada viewed technology as a key metaphor for modern society. Thusly, Dadaists utilized this notion with subversive playfulness. And again, that's kind of how we've been doing some stuff with the memes is it's new technology from 100 years ago. So how do we play with stuff nowadays and turn it into art and abstraction and making an impact and making it subversive? Let me just check in on you guys. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. I guess it's Duchamp's fault that we have this whole art is being subjective, and that's right. Kevin says that. Well, that's kind of where the whole thing of all art is relative comes from comes right from the idea that as it is subjective, anything could potentially be seen as art. Jean Arp's Shepherd of the Clouds. He's quite a poet too. Eduardo says, but the origins of Dada, although undeniably political, were more honest with the second part. They didn't know what to expect. They had some idea of the offensive power, but that's it. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, I'm not saying that someone should be outwardly making a political book. Eduardo's saying there's a difference between Dostoevsky writing a book that can be seen as political and someone outright making a political book. Actually, I mean, like that pig hanging on the ceiling, the war pig on the ceiling was outright political. It wasn't like accidentally political. So I think there are ways that you can do it. But I do think that the message is important. You know, just like having Trump figure with a small penis and being fat is like, it's not really a deep message. Like, okay, like, really? You have anything deeper than that? But having a war pig hanging over you, looming over you, like, has like something interesting to say about that. So I don't know. All right, let's go back to this thing. No predominant medium. All things from geometric tapestries to glass to plaster and wooden reliefs were fair game. I mean, look at the aesthetics of this. This one all the way to the right, again, with the typography. This is some soiree poster. And it just looks so cool. I love their like hands, little hand arrow things. Like they're like. I think this is very aesthetic. It's cool. I can appreciate this stuff. Not really sure what that is, but like I get it. So Salon Dada. More typography. That one's really cool. I actually really like this too. They had this thing too about like chopping up like things in the newspaper and rearranging it, kind of like the magnets. The Dadaism gave birth to those refrigerator magnets where you can like make up your own poetry kind of stuff. And they would like chop things up and rearrange it and make things out of it. And even Bowie did that with his music. He would take his diaries and journals and kind of rearrange things and take pieces and make shit out of it. Not a fan of this one. This one looks just like a random doodle. Oh my god, cool, a video.
Then something strange happened. The masks not only immediately called for specific costumes, they also dictated a very theatrical behavior that verged on madness. 1916, June 23. I have invented a new...
That was Dada, my friend. Caroline, to be precise.
Oh yeah, here's him doing the nonsense words at the Cabaret Voltaire.
So what was it all about?
That was Dada, my friend. Myself, Hugo Ball, Emily Henry. Ladies, what did you... Oh, low.
Alright. That's that, I guess. Let me get back to you guys. Oh, Stephen Forex is in here. Did you just get in here? No, you've been in here. Okay. Thanks for that. Thank you, guys. C.L. Hubbard. C.L. Hubbard is a fantastic, fantastic fine artist. Please throw a link in there or something, someone, to his Instagram or whatever. Steven can never think of a comment. Whatever, it's fine. But yeah, so C.L. Hubbard said, if I knew Dada was the topic today, I would have never smoked. Woo. Yeah, well, it's a strange one for sure. Let's get back into it. I have in my notes, in a sense, we can appreciate Dadaism for it was mocking the status quo. Today, the status quo is progressivism, but back then it was not the norm, and it was thought of as the future. So, I think that it's definitely Dadaist to kind of mock the status quo today and what's happening, and it's just some absurd kind of way. Like I said, memes definitely kind of do that. I'm not a super Dadaist fan. I like the typography. I do like strange performance art and fashion, but I don't tend to do it politically, but maybe in a sense it is. A few more things here, then we'll get into Evola influence on it. And we'll see. Oh, yeah, we already did all that. Okay, so let's go here. This, I think, is a link in there as well in the description. Let me just check in real quick. Maybe if it makes Dada with smoking, you become completely clear. Fair point. Okay, I am back to this guy. So the reason why I brought up Evola in this conversation is because Julius Evola is a philosopher, and he has the well, you might know him from a lot of the memes that people make and like the artwork where it's like revolt against the modern world, right? You probably heard about Revolt Against the Modern World, Ride the Tiger, Ride the Kali Yuga, is it? Something about the Kali Yuga. And so all of those things come from Evola's books. He has a really interesting insight, and he's really interesting that he has a trifecta of things that I like, which is art, and he has foundations in the Dadaist movement. He definitely was an artist and a fan of that stuff. I think he did grow away from it, and he has issues with it, which he can explain. So, I have a similar love-hate relationship with art and avant-garde art and stuff. Like, I do like it. I do come from that world. I have rejected some aspects of it, but, it's interesting. So it's interesting that he has that background as well as the alchemy background. A lot of his works will talk about alchemy, and he's into philosophy and all that stuff, so it's natural that he's into the spiritual enlightenment stuff with alchemy. And he references a lot of those things a lot. And then he has the political leanings, the revolt against the modern world. He's definitely against like leftism and modernism and all that stuff. So I think he has that trifecta, which is really cool. And he has some of the roots in his artistic sphere in Dadaism, so I figured it was a good time to kind of just throw that in there a little bit. Let me just check in on you guys. All right, cool. So his painting is an artistic career. He came to view Dadaism as decadent later in his life, which is a bad thing. And the Italian esotericist, see, there we go. We go from the art right to the esoteric stuff. Love it. Only spent a few years as a painter, but for fans of his writing and philosophy, the paintings he did throughout his life hold a special fascination and providing insight into his later philosophy. Let me see. 54 of his paintings were exhibited in Rome in 1920, and an exhibition in Berlin included 60 paintings by Evola. And according to an essay on Dada on the website of New York's Museum of Modern Art, the MoMA, he launched a Rome Dada season in April 1921, which included an exhibition at the
Thank you for the art lesson, teacher. I'm cutting the rest of the class to go watch the Baseball World Series. Have a pleasant evening, everyone. Call me Hand.
That is so sweet, Ed. You are always so sweet. Please enjoy your game, and I'm glad we can have little fun lessons all together. And thank you for including everyone in the pleasantries of your comment. So Evola launched a Rome Dada season in April 1921, which included exhibitions at the Galleria d'Arte Bragaglia that included works by Mantuan Dadaist, Gino Cantarelli, and Aldo Fiozzi, as well as performances at the Grade del Agustio Cabaret. A lot of cabaret stuff involved, so that's cool. I'm into that. Evola did readings from here he is again, Tristan Tzara's Manifest Dada 1918, and said that futurism was dead, causing an uproar. His intellectual autobiography, The Path of Cinnabar. Cinnabar is an alchemy thing, so again, there's alchemy involved. I actually learned of the word cinnabar. It is in Western alchemy, but when I studied abroad in China, I was doing a research paper on Chinese alchemy, and cinnabar is what they talk about too. Provides insights into his foray into the art world in the chapter Abstract Art and Dadaism. Ooh, I should be reading that bit. He was attracted to Dada for its radicalism, since it stood for an outlook on life which expressed a tendency towards total liberation, conjoined with the upsetting of all logic, ethic, and aesthetic categories in the most paradoxical and baffling ways. He quotes Zara, "What is divine within us is the awakening of an anti-human action," and cites a Dadaist philosophy with a premise in keeping with Evola's thought on the Kali Yuga. Let each person shout. There is a vast destructive negative task to fulfill, to swipe away and blot out, in a world left in the hands of bandits who are ripping apart and destroying all centuries, and the individual's purity is affirmed by a condition of folly, of aggressive and utter folly. Evola says that such an emphasis on the absurd seems, at an external level, analogous. Okay, I'm having issues saying that. So it's methods used by schools of the Far East, such as Zen, Chan, and Lao Tzu's writing. If some of Evola's paintings seem ugly, it's not without purpose and intent from the artist. In 1920s Art Estrada, Evola outlined his theory that passive aesthetic needs were subordinate to the expression of an impulse towards the unconditioned. This is where it gets like alchemy or aesthetics, like, you know, is it too much about aesthetics or is it the inner work? Dadaism, as Evola understood it, was not to create art as it's usually understood, but signaled the self-dissolution of art into a higher level of freedom. Cinnabar, from his book Cinnabar. I could understand that, actually, and something that a lot of people have an issue with some of this kind of artwork, expressionism or what have you, is that I kind of do understand the concept of doing something kind of like free writing, just like writing as like without thinking like about structured sentences or whatever, just free writing. I could see that with art as well, just kind of putting paint on something and having it just become this energy that is coming out of you without really caring too much about all the meticulous details, which me as a young artist, I loved like Renaissance meticulous fine art kind of stuff. I did not understand this weird stuff, but I kind of get that now a little bit more. Ed is so great. Isn't Ed so great? Ed Brown? Aww. Yeah, automatic writing. Oh, thank you for that, Patrick. We'll screenshot that. All right, let's get back to what I was reading. Well, I don't mean to have it be like an art lesson necessarily, but it's just like for art stream, I want to, yeah, like have something a little bit more educational and like just get into it and you guys be part of a conversation and stuff. I think it's good stuff. I don't want to just gossip about dumb shit all the time, what's going on Twitter or something. It was during the Dadaist period of his life that Evola started reading about esotericism. Yay! He met Neo-Pythagorean occultist Arturo Regini in the early 1920s. He quit painting in the early 1920s and stopped writing poetry in 1924, not to pursue either again for more than 40 years, according to Gwendolyn Toynon's essay Mercury Rising at Primordial Traditions. Although Evola left the Dadaist movement after a few years, in an interview in 1970, he said that the movement, even today, remains unsurpassed in the radicalism of its attempts to overturn not only the world of art, but all aspects of life. Cinnabar. The following paintings are compiled from numerous sites on the internet. I believe this is the most complete and detailed collection of Evola's paintings on the web. Cool, in English at least. Yeah, he's Italian, so a lot of his stuff has only been translated fairly recently, since I think maybe the 70s or something. I don't know, maybe the past few years. I'm not really sure, but I do know that a lot of his stuff has only been translated recently, so that's exciting. His early works, 1916 to 1918. The Tense of Aesthetic Idealism. Cool. Oh no. What did I do? Okay. Dynamic Synthesis, Ether. See, I love that he has like alchemy in it. It's so cool. This one's 5 o'clock tea. Okay. Bunch of Flowers. Oh my god, that is something that I would name it. That is something. Jack. There's a painting that Evola named Bunch of Flowers.
Yeah, you would do that.
Isn't that something I would do?
Yeah.
I name my cat Kitty Cat. And I do this kind of stuff all the time. The Forge, study on noise sounds. It does look like a noisy painting, does it not? Looks noisy to me. Oh my god. The painting below appears to have sold at Christie's. Christie's auction is, I think in New York City, a art auction that is like the biggest deal ever. I mean, you can buy paintings for like millions of dollars there, but this one sold at Christie's for, wow, you had a Christie's auction, for $43,000. A different source gives the date as 1920 to 21. This one is Inner Landscape, 3 a.m. That's another good one. Inner Landscape, 3 a.m. The following painting, according to the book Alchemical Mercury, A Theory of Ambivalence by Karen Pincus, see again with the alchemy, is now in the Kunsthaus of Zurich. Kunsthaus of Zurich. One of the many geometric blocks Evola has written, HG, the symbol for Mercury.
You should look up Goya, my favorite.
Oh yeah, I know Goya.
My favorite painting, the one of the dog.
Oh my god, yeah.
I love that painting so much. It's mostly just orange with a tiny little dog in the corner. Just show them it. Really
Alright, I will. Let me do. What is it called?
Goya the dog.
The dog. See, these are like my autistic names. Jack absolutely loves this picture.
I want it.
Oh god, hold on. I have to do it in Bing.
It's so cool.
Little dog.
I love it.
He's looking at a shadow.
I know, I think that's the point of it. It's like, what is it? Where is it?
Do you see the shadow and that he's looking at
Is
it?
he like on a hill or?
He's totally looking at a shadow.
Oh, I see the shadow. Huh.
Like, look at... You see the
Yeah.
shadow?
I feel like he was probably just messing about on the canvas and the dog was an afterthought.
Oh my god.
That would look cool if I just added
There's
a
totally a
dog
shadow there. He's looking right at it.
It's cool. I wondered where
Like-
my grape soda went. You've drank it all.
No, I didn't. It's been there for like days. And I would totally drink it right now, actually.
Yeah, alright. I love grape soda.
I don't have to drink it all. Just pour a little in my cup.
No, it's fine.
Oh, you were playing nice because I'm live.
I'm making tea. Make sure they know grape soda's a novelty for me. I'm not weird.
Yeah, but it's also no sugar grape soda, which I know fake sugar is terrible. I hate fake sugar, but right now I have to do no real sugar, so. And ketchup. Stephen Parks, are you saying how very civilized because he's making tea right now? Grape soda, not grape drank. Oh wait, that would be Jay.
I love grape drank.
Oh yeah, Whistler's also... Well, that's interesting because he did some pretty realistic stuff. Yeah, that's right. I haven't seen you around in here. I don't know how to say your name. N-A-C-H-T... Trichter. Not Trichter, see? If you can't draw paint realistic naturally, you can't be much of an abstract painter either. I agree with that. That's how I was taught in art growing up. I'm definitely more of a fine artist, and I think that I'm starting to come around to something a little bit more abstract lately. Jack is going American on us, calling it soda.
I know it's pop.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
We say pop, but like the thing is, my family's Scouse, so like everything's like lemonade, right? Orangeade. Everything's aid.
Lemonade here is bubbly. It's like basically lemony soda. It's like it's pretty much like 7-Up.
Yeah, Sprite.
Lemonade is
That's
like
lemonade
Sprite,
to us.
7-Up. Yeah.
And then American lemonade, we pretty much don't have. I've seen it recently in some shops, but like it's not a
like
thing.
Our lemonade is like actually lemon flavored.
Yeah, because I used to wonder
like,
when I was watching TV when I was young, and you know you have the lemonade stands with the little kids.
Mm-hmm.
I used to always wonder how they carbonated it. I was like,
oh my god!
Like, how is this little girl?
No, they squeeze lemons and add water
How
and
is
sugar
this
to
little
it.
girl making pop?
Can you give me that cup? I don't want to drink this on screen. Like through the bottle.
Oh my god. Before we had grape soda in England, because it's only a fairly recent thing, and I'm only talking like a couple of years ago, I used to buy grape juice and add lemonade to it to make it fizzy.
Oh my god.
There was no soda.
Yes, Jay.
Someone just said we used to have a pop man. Go back on the thing.
Have what?
A pop man, like a milkman. Where's it gone?
Kitty,
We used to have a pop man years ago with transit pickup. Yeah, pop man, like a milkman. Has anyone else started? Sorry, I'm taking over your show here, but have you noticed that like milkmen are back?
Yeah, it's like trendy again.
Yeah, I've started seeing milkmen. Recently, I saw one down the road, and if you go out in the morning, you see the milkman again.
It's really flat.
I know. But isn't it amazing people are going back to the milkman? All along, it was actually the green thing to do. You're recycling the glass bottle.
Yeah.
There's no plastic involved. And the guy that delivers it on an electric float.
It's pretty green.
It's not a car.
Meow.
Meow.
Look at you, kitty. I love you. She's like protecting me. Meow. You talking to me? Okay, where were we? Almost done here. I've been pretty much on for like 2 hours, but I'll just wrap up this Evola stuff. Yeah, so on one of the many geometric blocks, he has written HG, which is the symbol for mercury in red ink, like the chemical symbol. According to Pincus, this is a very interesting gesture, especially as the inscription seems entirely disjointed from the composition itself, as it has been an afterthought and a reflection of the troubled relationship between modern chemistry as abstraction and alchemical materiality. Ugh. Sometimes I get like really dyslexic and I can't say shit. Passaggio and Tuari Illumination. This oil painting is hanging on a wall of the National Gallery of Modern Art in Rome, according to, this dude. Inner landscape, 10:30 a.m. This is this oil on cardboard painting comes up in past auction searches for Evola's work. That's actually really cool. Portrait. It's a female cubism portrait. So this actually reminds me of. Maybe we'll go through it. Let me see if it. Yeah, this one actually reminds me. Let me see his portrait of himself. I'm gonna do another one. This is a portrait. There's another one that looks a little bit more cubist. Let me, there's one that looked way more cubist. I can't find it. Bing sometimes doesn't have everything, but there was a picture that I was looking for specifically. Yeah, I posted it on social media, but it reminds me of this Lady Alchemy stuff that I have. It's kind of cubist, and yeah, I think it's actually kind of cool. I might try to paint that, if that's not too weird painting myself. But that was at a gig that I was doing, and I had this like throne, and I took pictures, and I had, you know, crown and robes all over me, and just kind of edited it on the phone. I think it looks really cool. Where were we? Yeah. The following two works were published in Ella's 1920 book, Art Estrada. You can see the other two compositions in a... Who wrote this? You're not supposed to have the two vowels next to each other in an online scan. Jack? Yeah? Come here real quick. I just have to be really autistic about this. This bothers me. Who wrote this? Aristocrat of the soul, my ass.
What?
Look at in a online.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah. That's
Doesn't that make it cringe?
Yeah.
In an online.
When was that written?
I don't know. It's just a website. Oop. Just aristocratofthesoul.com. Alright, that's it.
Have you done Dadaism and not Fluxus? You need to do Fluxus. It's the coolest one.
Okay. It's been 2 hours, so I want to get off soon, but I'll mention it. Or I could always talk about Dadaism a little bit more.
They do, like, Fluxus Manifesto or something is really cool. You should look it up.
Okay. Ooh!
Meow, meow, meow.
Fluxus Manifesto.
Yeah,
What am I looking for?
Just the Fluxus Manifesto. It's really cool. It was like a branch of Dadaism, or it came from it or something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, I see it. As we were discussing, I had someone, I think it was a troll, but they were just, like, constantly telling me that I'm wrong, and it's, like, to stop being, like, political. And, like, I am the most non-political person when it comes to my artwork, but when I'm talking about a movement that's clearly influenced by politics, like,
yeah,
how do you want me to not talk about politics? Like, sorry.
Guys, Martina seems constantly surprised at the stupidity of people on the internet. I have to keep reminding her.
Like, I don't see anyone telling Joy Villa or, you know, what's the Lady MAGA or anyone to stop being political.
Lady MAGA!
Like, why hasn't everybody been telling Joy Villa to stop being political with her? They're always like, wow, this is amazing, great. Yay, freedom. But then, like, I'm not even talking about my artwork because my artwork's not even that political. I'm talking about a movement that's influenced by politics, and suddenly, like, I think it was a fucking troll telling me how, like, I'm wrong, and, like, well, why am I, like, making it political? I'm like, it is! Sorry. It's art. Okay, so the Fluxus Manifesto, which is part of Dadaism, purge the world of, bourgeois sickness, intellectual, professional, and commercialized culture. Purge the world of dead art, imitation, artificial art, abstract art, illusionistic art, mathematical art. Screw you! Purge the world of Europanism. Promote a revolutionary flood and tide in art. Promote living art, anti-art. Promote non-art reality to be grasped by all peoples, not only critics. Dilettantes and professionals. Fuse the, what is that? Cadres of cultural, social, and political revolutionaries into united front and action. Is that what you wanted me to read?
Yeah, it's just like really, really radical.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the definition of Dadaism was that it was like a response by like radical extreme left.
It was like anti-military.
It was radical like they say that, and you know how they never use those terms. They never use those terms like radical far left is what it said. Mm-hmm. What do we always hear? We always hear far right, yeah. Radical right, far right, far right. We never hear the word radical far left, and that is how they were describing Dadaism, which is very extreme. Mm-hmm. But to be fair, I can respect them more 100 years ago.
They're like completely today. Different kettle of fish than the green herd, like LGBT people these days. It's a completely different ballgame.
I think someone was just getting offended that I was like saying that it's leftist, and I'm like, you can't get mad. Something I know. If you like it, because like they were like liking it, and I was like, well, if you like it,
so what?
It doesn't matter if they're extreme leftist.
I am the world's biggest fan of Yoko Ono, and she is extremely left.
I'm so against the like we can't like something unless it's our like side.
Yoko Ono thanked me for promoting peace in the conservative movement. No word of a lie, she did.
Wow, you should put that in like your book.
Yeah, you can be nice to people who you don't agree with. Why not?
I can appreciate someone's art that I don't agree with, and a movement that.
Oh, but Morrissey said something naughty.
Hey, Dave Incognito, what's up? He gave $5 and said, I've been possessed of a dream, but I'd need to learn calculus to do it. How hard is it to get there if I've been out of the math game for a while? Well, it depends on what you're talking about. I would love to know a little bit more. Years ago, like, I don't know, 2000, geez, it's going to be almost 10 years. No way. Well, it's going to be 2020, so it's not quite 10 years. Like 7 years ago or something, I was planning on, and I made notes to do math YouTube videos, but I have been out of the math tutoring world for quite some time now, so I'm sure there's a lot more help nowadays on YouTube than I would be, but I don't know. A while ago, there wasn't really that much on the internet. Damn, could have been big doing that. Damn it. But, let me know what exactly it is. I actually find calculus to be the best math. I think it's the best. But pre-calculus, you learn a bunch of stuff and you don't understand why you're learning it. Calc 1 in particular is super easy and fine. Calc 2 is terrible, but it's interesting. Calc 3 is like Calc 1, but multivariable, which means 3 dimensions. But it's fairly easy to understand the concept of a derivative is an instantaneous rate of change or tangent point on a curve. Integrals, which is Calc 2, is areas under the curve. They're all very interesting stuff, and we can go over it sometime if you want. Vector calculus is my favorite subject and everything. Yeah, I know, it's really good. Yeah, I studied mathematics at NYU, and I was a math tutor for many, many, many years. So, yeah, I was going to do that. Oh, okay, you're talking.
I think someone was just mocking the English for having watercress sandwiches.
He was just looking for watercress the other day.
Which is really funny, because...
Someone said, did you remember to pick up salad sauce?
Wait, where's the...
Here, no. There you go.
See? That's watercress.
Get it out of here. Look at, you can't even see it. Look at it.
Watercress.
It's some magical watercress. Here, look. Watercress. They can't say it.
I think this is,
magic.
Oh, and also Matthew Gervais. A quesadilla is a taco. Shut up.
A quesadilla is not a taco shack.
It is a damn taco.
Can you stop saying taco that way?
Taco.
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 Okay, let me catch up. I want to design a space probe. Maybe they've already done what I have in mind. I don't know. Oh my god. Oh my god, math jokes. I love math jokes. Why did the mathematician spill all of her food in the oven? The directions said put it in the oven at 180 degrees. I love it. Stokes' theorem is the prettiest mathematical theorem. Damn, now we're getting to a math topic. Make math wave a thing. Holy shit, I should. Okay. Okay. Let's get back into finish up this Evola stuff and then we'll call it a night. Unless any of you guys have any more comments or super chats or anything else like that, you know what I mean? Actually, let me check D Live real quick. I never checked D Live. Hope you guys alright. Alright, yeah, nothing going on. Oh my god, there's a meme of Charlie Kirk with his face just getting smaller and smaller. That is so funny. It's only 3 people on D Live. This thing is terrible. Okay, so you can see the other 2 compositions in an online scan of the book at the website of the International Dada Archive at the University of Iowa Libraries. Evola's essays, Abstract Art, is available in English translation in the book Dadas on Art. Cool. So he's definitely involved in the Dada movement. The few years that he did make art, he was heavily involved in it. He's in the Dada museums. Middle works, early 1920s. Abstraction. Abstraction. I think these are quite cool. I like them. Small table, upper surface. I'm gonna start painting. Interior landscape. What? The opening of the diaphragm.
My best friend from childhood just messaged me saying, I just dipped into Martina's
oh my god.
live stream for the first time. I saw you verify a grammatical error and patronize a cat. To be fair, she spent the first 2 hours talking about art, but yeah.
We're like post 2 hour like stream, so it gets a little weird. Oh my god. Oh, there's some alchemy symbols in there. That triangle with the cross is an alchemy symbol. The book in flames and the pyramids. Late paintings. Numerous sources on the web, including academic papers and art auction houses, show paintings by Evola that he did much later in his life, several which are shown below. If any readers know where to find the information about Evola's later works in English, I would greatly appreciate being contacted in order to update this section. This painting was listed at an art auction website and said to be painted in 1945. That one's lovely. Oh my god, that one's me! Nude of Aphrodite, the beauty. You mean Lady Alchemy? It's me. I'm saving it. The following 2 paintings are cited as Julius Evola's L'Atra Fascia della Modernità by Francesca Ricci and appear on the website of the Fondation Julius Evola. I'm gonna actually click on that. Oh, did not mean to do that. Oops. This one is the generator of the universe, hence a lot of the upside down triangles that represents a uterus. Oh, some feminist paintings by Evola here. Wow, look at that. Oh, how degenerate, right? You know? It's called art, people. It's called art. For more posts on radical traditionalism and Julius Evola, please click to visit the archives. Interested in seeing more of Julius Evola's work, check out this video, which has additional images. Cool. And this French TV interview with English subtitles, and he talks about Dadaism, which I was actually going to play for you guys. Let me see my notes if I have much more to talk about. I don't think fascist was considered. Well, I think there's left-wing fascists and right-wing fascists, yes, but he's definitely more, I think, on the right. The left condemn him, and they've attacked like Steve Bannon for referencing Julius Evola, saying that he was like some fascist, you know, right-wing fascist, blah, blah, blah. And the right loves him, so I don't think it's left-wing, but there are, I believe, left-wing fascism, like, you know, Tito and Mussolini and, is that left-wing fascism? I don't know. You know, Cuba and all that stuff. Math is the foundation of all good art, especially music. I agree. But that's why I got like really triggered when that manifesto said anti-mathematical art. I was like, no! Okay. Sorry. Catching up. Let's see what I have in my notes. Okay. Yeah, I think I have that video of him speaking. It's only a few minutes long, so it's not that painful for you guys. Oh my god, I have so many things. Yeah, we saw some of this artwork already, but I felt like there was something in here I wanted to show you. Yeah, just how cool is that? Arte Estrada. Dada. Evola. It's cool. I like the typography on this as well, actually. I should read that. I'm gonna leave that up. This should all be in the description, by the way. Yeah, this is the picture. I'm not sure if it's a self-portrait or not, because it didn't come up in the self-portrait section, but this is kind of what I thought of. Some of his works. Ooh, Cinnabar. Path to Cinnabar. Yeah, we saw these. I kind of like his book covers too. Back in the day were really good. I think this one is cool. can't find some of his other classic ones, but let me go back to my notes. Oh yeah, and that's about it. I just wanted to show you the Instagram where it looked like some of my stuff. Not sure if this counts. It's not very cubism or anything, but it's something I made. And then this is like, again, really stupid. Ooh, just so it's one of my performances, and it has that weird cubism kind of effect. So yeah, that kind of has like that weird Dadaist look, you know, cubism and shit. And yeah, so I like some weird artsy stuff sometimes. Oh, Patrick McCormick says, so thankful for the stream, Martina. I'm actually restraining myself, believe it or not. It's really nice to hear, actually. You know, I don't often feel appreciated, so thank you. It really means a lot. Let me catch up to what you guys are saying. The stream is very educational. I knew about none of this at the beginning. Same here. I was introduced to this in my youth. It can't always be about Aunt Patty or Uncle Mike. That's right. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to know if there was going to be a Discord server. We can have better discussions in such a place. Well, I might make a new Discord server. If you are on Twitter or something, just message me or Jay, or send me an email. It should be in the description. It's my name, Martina Markota, nyc@gmail.com, and maybe we can talk about it, but just send me a DM from that point. And Jay says I could see more potential in art history streams. Who did the Lady Alchemy art that I shared today? I did. It was just like a phone image that someone took of me, that I asked them to take of me, and then I like started playing around with it on my phone. It was just some phone art, but it reminded me of the Cubism and Evola's pictures, so I reposted them. But yeah, this is at a performance, and someone took a picture, and I started editing it. But I might actually paint it. It would be a lot of work, actually, but I think it's actually kind of cool. People usually don't respond when I do this weird artsy stuff. They like all the clear, sexy like stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's boring to me. Like, this is where I get kind of like weird and avant-garde. Is like, I'm just like, I don't know. Sexy's boring. So many girls trying to be sexy on the internet. I just find the like beauty plus like weirdness, I think, is kind of cool. kitty. All right. I'll take any. Yeah, please do that, Eduardo. Thank you. Please let me know if there are any more comments or suggestions or super chats or Streamlab donations for this Hasselblad that I'm trying to get. Thank you. And I will let you guys think about that. Think about any questions or comments. And yeah, we'll end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I'm pretty sure I missed a bunch of stuff. There's just so much involved with the Dadaism. I'm probably missing things. I was too hungry. I don't know what I'm doing. But that's alright. We could always do it again. Figure out what the next topic is. Actually, the next topic, I was gonna do it today, but I was just like, there's too much to talk about with Dadaism, and I don't want to like have something not really focused on when it's really interesting and really cool. So I figured I will just like keep it to one kind of topic a stream, because I do tend to ramble and I can go on things, and I don't even cover everything. So I decided the next stream is going to be about the Hockney-Falco thesis, which is very interesting. I got an email from a viewer, and they recommended that I look into this. And in short, it's about how the realism paintings before photography was invented was possibly actually done through optics, obscura, what is it? Camera obscura and stuff like that. So through optics, and that's really interesting. So I'll do a little bit of research on that and share with you guys those kinds of things, which is cool. Oh, thanks, Eduardo. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. Oh, thank you, Sunu Akkad. Sunu Akkad. Thank you, thank you. All right. So I wanted to do the alchemy streams, which I haven't been doing on Thursday, but it's Halloween on Thursday, so I assume no one's going to be in there watching it. So I don't know. I was thinking maybe tomorrow. Oh, but I would love to have a day not to stream tomorrow. Oh, I'm glad Never Cold. Thank you guys. All right, I'm out of here. I'm just rambling now. Bye.
Each and